So last week we started this new series, the series through Advent called Waiting Well. And the reality is we call it Waiting Well because we don't know how to wait well. Here is this season of Advent, season of preparation, obviously. But it's also a season of waiting. I mean, just think of how much we dislike the season of waiting. Because right now, probably, December 7th, we are probably already in a place of having gone to maybe already one or two Christmas parties full disclosure, we had a Christmas party last night for our alumni. On Friday, we had a Christmas party for all of our students. And yeah, why? Well, we wanted to get it in before the end of the semester, all those things. We have excuses, but do you? No, we all have excuses. And the excuse is we don't like waiting. We want it to be here. In fact, there's actually a whole science on waiting, on the study of waiting. In fact, David Maister is a man who he wrote a whole dissertation on the psychology of waiting lines. We talked last week about how much of our lives are spent waiting lines. And he said this, he found out that there are 4 kinds of waiting we really, really dislike. And he says when we have to wait in lines particularly, that we have unoccupied time, we have uncertain wait times, we have unexplained waits, and when we have unfair waits, right? So he talks about this, he says that occupied time feels shorter than unoccupied time. So people hate waiting in lines without doing anything, right? So that's number 1. Number 2, he said, uncertain waits feel longer than known waits, that we don't like the unpredictability. Like, when is the next thing coming? We don't know. Unexplained waits feel longer than explained waits. I want to know why. I want to know the reason why I have to wait here. And lastly, he said, unfair waits feel longer than fair waits. That perceived injustice makes it worse. And it comes down to this. It comes down to a lot of us, when we have to wait, the hardest part of waiting is I want to know why, or I want to know when. I want to know why this is happening. I want to know when it's going to end. And so there actually are some clever ways that people have kind of worked around this. So Disney, in fact, imagine a place that everyone goes to have fun, and then you show up and you wait. The Disney, when it comes to those theme parks, they have introduced in the course of waiting, like interactive, like Easter eggs, that if you're waiting in line, you can find little spots, you play little games as you're walking in line or as you're standing there in line to be able to engage the guests. Another thing that you can do is you can start services before the wait ends. So I don't know if you've ever gone to a restaurant and you're in the waiting area, waiting to be seated. Sometimes the host or hostess will give you a menu and say, hey, just take a look at our menu. Or maybe, hey, go up to the bar and order some drinks. Now, all you're doing is waiting right there, but they've given you something to do. And so it feels like you're actually accomplishing something. Or actually, I happen to have gone to the hospital relatively recently. And one of the things they do is you go in, your appointment isn't ready yet, or the doctor's not ready yet, the PA is not ready yet. So what they do is they give you some information to fill out. So you feel like you're already making progress. So it gives you something. It's not idle waiting. It's not unoccupied time. One thing I think is really helpful is that people will use transparency and updates, so that waiting feels like it's happening faster. When I say it is that if you have like accurate wait times displayed, I mean, you've seen this on the highway, whereas it takes 15 minutes to get to 494 from here. Like, okay, that's good. Now I know. That's how long it's going to take. If you've ever ordered Domino's pizza, they are genius in the sense of they have their Domino's pizza tracker, where it's like, okay, hey, you put your order in, you made your phone call, and you can find it's in the oven right now. It's out. Oh my gosh, it's out of the oven already. It's on its way. Joe is bringing it to your house. Like that pizza tracker makes waiting seem more tolerable. Why? Because what makes waiting feel intolerable is when I don't know why it's happening, and I don't know when it's going to end. What we do when we don't know why and when we don't know when it's going to end, here's how a lot of us end up waiting. We just worry. Again, this whole Advent, we're going to be talking about what it is to wait well. But one of the ways that you and I wait is we don't know how to wait well because we worry. We simply anxiously wait, even though we're called to wait well. And so we ask the question, okay, well, what's the big deal? Why is it so important to be able to wait well? Why is it so important to not worry while we wait? Well, first of all, worry chokes the life out of life.